Step 1. Place embroidery thread. Unfasten the 20 threads attached to the thread stand. Raise the thread stand. The thread at the back will pass through the back of the thread stand. The thread at the front will pass through the front of the thread stand. According to the color sequence set by the design, place the embroidery thread in the corresponding position in. First, take the loose end of the thread from the old spool and tie it to the loose end of the new spool with a tight knot. Repeat the above actions for the other spools. Next, come to the front of the embroidery machine and tangle the thread on the thread clamp base. Grab the thread on the press foot and pull it down. You will see the new thread as well as the knotted thread moving. Cut off the thread until the old thread is no longer visible. Finally, pass the thread through the eye of the needle and down into the presser foot. Leave about 5 cm of thread to hang on the thread clamp spring. Now let's introduce how to thread. Thread spool 1 through the eyelets on the upper thread rack. Pass the thread through the small eyelet located behind the first tension knob. Position the thread to the right side of the top tension knob in between the tension discs. Make sure the notch of the thread pressing piece is in a tight state. Take out the thread tube. Find the included threading tool from your toolkit. Hook the thread to the end of the tool and feed the thread through the plastic tube. Remove after completion. Reattach one end of the thread tube to thread rack. Clip the other end onto the machine head. Pass the thread through the thread pressing plate. Complete the threading process according to the threading track marked on the thread clamp. Finally, pass the thread through the eye of the needle from the front to the back, and then in through the presser foot. How to replace the bobbin thread of SWD Computerized embroidery machine. The bobbin thread affects the tension of the computer embroidery machine. The bobbin thread is located in the bobbin case below the needle plate. Lift the latch of the bobbin case. Pull the bobbin case out of the rotary hook. Remove the bobbin thread to be replaced. When installing, place the bobbin case with the threads facing upwards. The bobbin thread goes around from the lower left to the right. First, pass the bobbin thread through the bobbin case slit. Then pull the bobbin thread under the tension arm, making sure the thread exits at the notch on the other end. Finally, go up. Wrap the thread around the small pigtail twice on the bobbin case. After winding it, you can pull it to see if the tightness is appropriate. The bobbin case faces up. Grab the bobbin case while lifting the latch and insert it into the machine. When you hear a tick sound, it means it is fastened. Buckle the cover and the bobbin thread is replaced. Tightness is particularly important for the embroidery performance. Before starting, let's first understand the parts that match it. Big screw on the bobbin case, upper thread, bobbin case, bobbin thread. Check whether the threading is correct. For example, you can first adjust the tightness of the top tension knob correctly. Grab the knob and turn it counterclockwise to loosen the upper thread. Turn it clockwise to tighten the upper thread. If it still exists, please adjust the large screw on the bobbin case. This is the eye design we often use for tightness testing. Ideally, the bobbin tension can be presented in 3 equal parts, and each accounts for 1/3. The bobbin thread is in the middle. The upper thread is interspersed on both sides of the bobbin thread. Next, let's take a look at the case of too much or too little bobbin thread on the back of the design. How to adjust it. When there is too little bobbin thread, the bobbin is too tight. Loosen the large screw by turning it counterclockwise with a small flathead screwdriver. When there is too much bottom line, the bobbin is too loose. Loosen the large screw by turning it clockwise with a small flathead screwdriver. Before adjusting the control panel, tear off the protective film on the screen. The control panel can be adjusted to 3 directions: front and back, up and down, and left and right, by loosening the rubber head screws in the corresponding direction of the panel bracket by hand, until it rotates to your preferred height. After adjustment, tighten the rubber head screws. If the rubber head screws are too tight and inconvenient to operate, you can also use the large flat blade screwdriver in the toolbox to loosen the rubber head screws above the panel bracket. Tighten it after adjustment.